You did everything right. You paid your credit card bill on time, you avoided late fees, you stayed responsibly, and then you check your credit score, and it drops. That moment makes no sense, right? It feels unfair, almost like the system is working against you. But here's the truth. Most people don't realize your credit score isn't simply a reward for paying on time. In fact, thousands of people are unknowingly hurting their credit every single month while thinking they're doing everything perfectly. And if you don't understand why this is happening, you could be silently damaging your financial future without even realizing it. Imagine applying for a loan, a car, or even a mortgage, only to get rejected or offered terrible interest rates, not because you missed payments, but because of small hidden mistakes you didn't even know existed. That's exactly what's happening to so many people right now. See, the credit system doesn't judge you the way you think it does. It's not based on effort, intentions, or even just paying on time. It's based on how lenders interpret your behavior through a set of rules that most people were never taught. And here's the scary part. Some of these rules actually work against you if you don't know how to play the game properly. You might be using too much of your credit without realizing it, or paying at the wrong time in the billing cycle, or even making decisions like closing a card that seems smart but actually lowers your score. These are the kinds of hidden traps that can pull your score down even when you feel like you're doing everything right. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly why your credit score can drop even when you never miss a payment. And more importantly, how you can fix it fast. We're going to go beyond the basic advice and uncover the real reasons that impact your score, things most people never talk about. And make sure you stick with me until the end, because one of these reasons is so common that it's quietly damaging the majority of people watching this right now. Once you understand these hidden factors, you'll stop guessing and finally start taking control of your credit score the smart way. Most people think that as long as they pay their credit card bill on time, they're doing everything right. But what they don't realize is that one of the biggest factors affecting their credit score has nothing to do with payment history. It's something called credit utilization. This simply means how much of your available credit you're using at any given time. And this is where things start to get tricky. Let's say you have a credit card with a $1,000 limit and you spend $800 on it. Even if you pay that $800 off completely and on time, your credit score can still drop. Why? Because when your credit card company reports your balance to the credit bureaus, it often shows that you were using 80% of your limit. And to lenders, that looks risky. It signals that you might be relying too heavily on credit, even if you're responsible with payments. This is why experts recommend keeping your credit utilization below 30%, and ideally under 10% if you want to maximize your score. The key takeaway here is simple. It's not just about paying on time, it's about how much you owe when your balance gets reported. A simple fix is to pay off part of your balance before the statement closing date, so a lower amount gets reported. This small change can make a massive difference in how your credit profile looks, and it's one of the fastest ways to stop unnecessary drops in your score. Now, here's something that almost nobody talks about, and it catches people off guard all the time: the timing of your payments. Most people assume that as long as they pay before the due date, they're safe. But the truth is, your credit score doesn't care about your due date as much as it cares about your statement closing date. These are two completely different things. Your due date is when you need to pay to avoid interest and late fees. But your statement closing date is when your credit card issuer takes a snapshot of your balance and reports it to the credit bureaus. So imagine this. You use your card heavily throughout the month, your balance climbs high, and then your statement closes. That high balance gets reported. A few days later, you pay it off in full before the due date. From your perspective, you did everything right. But from the credit bureau's perspective, it looks like you were carrying a large balance. And that can cause your score to drop. This is why understanding timing is so powerful. If you want to optimize your credit score, you need to pay down your balance before the statement closing date, not just the due date. Even making a mid-cycle payment can help reduce the reported balance. This strategy alone can prevent a lot of unnecessary score drops and give you more control over how lenders see your credit behavior. Another hidden reason your credit score might drop, even when you're redoing everything right, is closing old credit accounts. On the surface, it feels like a smart financial move. Maybe you want to simplify your finances or avoid the temptation of spending. But what most people don't realize is that closing a credit card can actually hurt your score in two major ways. First, it reduces your total available credit. Going back to our earlier example, if you had $5,000 in total credit and you close a card with a $2,000 limit. Your available credit drops to $3,000. That means your utilization ratio suddenly increases, even if your spending stays the same. Second, it affects the length of your credit history. Credit scores favor accounts that have been open for a long time because they show stability and experience. When you close an old account, especially your oldest one, you're essentially removing a valuable part of your credit history. This can make your profile look younger and less reliable. The smarter approach is to keep old accounts open, even if you don't use them frequently. You can simply make a small purchase every few months to keep the account active. This way, you maintain your credit history and keep your utilization low. It's a simple strategy, but it can have a big impact on maintaining and improving your score over time. Let's talk about something else that can quietly drag your score down: hard inquiries and new credit applications. Every time you apply for a credit card, loan, or even certain types of financing, the lender performs what's called a hard inquiry on your credit report. This tells other lenders that you are actively seeking credit. One inquiry might not seem like a big deal, and in most cases, it isn't. But when you have multiple inquiries in a short period of time, it can start to look like a red flag. To lenders, this behavior can signal financial stress or risk, as if you're urgently trying to borrow money, and that perception can cause your score to drop temporarily. This is especially common when people apply for several credit cards at once, hoping to increase their limits or take advantage of rewards. While the intention might be good, the short-term impact can be negative. The key here is spacing out your applications. If you're planning to apply for credit, do it strategically and avoid submitting multiple applications within a short time frame. Also, be mindful of situations where multiple inquiries might be grouped together, like shopping for a car loan or mortgage. In those cases, timing matters even more. Understanding how hard inquiries work can help you avoid unnecessary drops and keep your credit profile looking stable and trustworthy. Finally, there's a factor that often gets overlooked but plays a crucial role in your credit score: your credit mix and activity level. Lenders don't just want to see that you can handle one type of credit. They want to see that you can manage different types responsibly. This could include credit cards, installment loans, or other forms of credit. If you only have one type of account, your score might not reach its full potential. But even more important is your activity level. Surprisingly, not using your credit at all can actually hurt your score. If your accounts are inactive for long periods, lenders have no recent data to evaluate your behavior. It's like trying to judge someone's driving skills when they haven't been on the road in months. The system needs consistent activity to build confidence in your profile. That doesn't mean you should spend more. It just means you should use your credit strategically. Small, regular purchases that you pay off responsibly can keep your accounts active and healthy. This shows lenders that you're engaged, reliable, and in control of your finances. When you combine a healthy credit mix with consistent activity, you create a strong and balanced credit profile that supports long-term growth in your score. At the end of the day, your credit score isn't judging whether you're a good or bad person with money. It's judging how predictable and low-risk you look to lenders. And that's the part most people never understand. You can do everything right on the surface: pay on time, avoid debt, stay disciplined, and still lose points simply because you're not playing by the system's hidden rules. But now, you're different. Now you know that it's not just about paying on time, it's about when you pay, how much gets reported, how long your accounts stay open, and how consistently you use credit. These small shifts in behavior can completely change how your score moves. The truth is, once you understand how this system really works, your credit score stops being confusing and starts becoming something you can control. You're no longer guessing. You're not reacting to random drops. You're making intentional moves that push your score higher over time. And that's powerful, because a higher credit score doesn't just look good. It saves you money, opens doors, and gives you financial freedom that most people struggle to reach. So if this video opened your eyes, don't just watch and forget it. Take action. Start applying even one or two of these strategies today, and you'll begin to see the difference. And if you're serious about leveling up your credit, type credit in the comments. I read every single one, and I'll share advanced strategies to help you boost your score even faster. And make sure you watch the next video on your screen, because that's where I break down exactly how to increase your credit score by 100+ points, step by step.